Am I sideways? Oh, I'm gonna have to open up the video on here. Usually it switches. Maybe it's my settings. You know why? Because I always have my phone so that it won't turn. Well, I'm gonna quickly open it up and see if I'm sideways, because if I'm sideways, I'll have to turn my phone. I tried pushing a button and it didn't change anything, so welcome. Maybe sideways. I'll get to my face in a second here. I do know what I'm doing. If you believe that, you haven't been around very long. I never know what I'm doing. Oh, look, here I am. Oh, okay. Turn that off. Nope. Well, I have to watch a commercial. There we go. Okay, let's start. I am sideways. Why would it do that to me? What? Okay, well, today Facebook. No, what am I on? YouTube. YouTube wants me to sideways. So here I am. I'm long instead. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Here I am. That's the point, right? So, welcome to my random live video. This is how I live life and manage my business, which is a great business plan. Take some tips from me. Everything just is like, hey, the kids are quiet. I better throw this in. It's probably not the best plan, but here we are. We're going to do it. Maybe you already know, but if you read the description, I wanted to tell you about 2 Crochet-A-Longs that are either starting like right now or will be starting soon. And I'm involved in both of them, which is why I'm talking about them. There's plenty of more Crochet-A-Longs available that I'm not involved in, so you're probably very busy. But if you have chance and you want to do this Crochet-A-Long with us, you can. So the first one I want to talk about, they posted like the promo, hey, we're going to have a Crochet-A-Long just a few days ago. And then the first part, which was really an introduction, there's no crocheting yet, it's just an introduction, was posted today. And it's being hosted in a Facebook group called Crochet-A-Long Mosaic Crochet MALs, CALs, and more. So MALs and CALs are acronyms that stand for Make Along and Crochet-A-Long, which I'm not entirely sure what the difference is. It seems to be dependent on what whoever's designing it decides. Sometimes Crochet-A-Long refers to specifically crochet, and then they're comparing it to a KAL, a knit along. So you have 2 CALs, CAL and CAL, but one is C and one is K for knit and crochet. M, make along, sometimes refers to a project that can be with knitting or crochet, or sometimes it refers to the fact that this is an old pattern and we're simply going to crochet it together. So it's a make along because it's not new and there's no real definition. There's no official definition, like most things in crochet. There's no crochet god up there that's like, this is how it must be done. There is a crochet council, but they actually can't control anything either. But they do post things like, this is how, if we all use the same terminology, then we can get along better, right? So they'll say, this is how you define yarn weight, and this is how you measure a hook. And that's handy, but they, as far as I know, haven't decided what MAL and CAL mean. So now that that's out of the way, here we are. Okay, so this one, the first one I'm talking about, is hosted in that Facebook group by multiple designers. I think 7 or 9. I could look at the picture again. It's 7 or 9 designers and like 12 designs. So some of the designers have put in more than one. And it's free, which is pretty, I mean, as a designer that sells patterns, I don't want to be yay free, because I do appreciate when people purchase patterns. But free is definitely fun too. Because why? It allows more people to join in. And most of the time, these designers have other patterns that you can purchase. So if you're feeling like you really appreciated their free Crochet-A-Long, you can support them by buying other patterns. If you feel like this was a good way to learn about their style and figure out whether you like the way they design their patterns, whether you like their written presentation, that sort of thing, free is good for that. And it's handy when you're having multiple designers get together. It opens us up to more customers, essentially. So that's the secret. I don't know if it's a secret. The Facebook group, who is hosting it, they get people in their Facebook group. And the more people they have in their Facebook group, the more potential customers. So that's the trade-off. You don't design free patterns just to give them away. You are getting something in return. Usually it's more people on your mailing list or attraction to venue or whatever it is. So there is a give and take, which means that the introduction, for example, that's been posted today in the Facebook group, it may not be a pattern design. It may not be what you would consider something that is copyrighted or you know, worth anything, but it is hosted in that Facebook group for the purposes of bringing people to that Facebook group. So I am unable to send you that file if you are not on Facebook. However, I can tell you that all the file really said was, here's the schedule, here's some beautiful samples and how much yarn they used, if they changed colors a lot or didn't, that sort of thing. And that's handy information, but if you aren't on Facebook and you refuse to be on Facebook, you could still join in by getting the patterns as they come out. It's just that you're not going to have that group reminding you like, hey, the new pattern's here, hey, the new pattern's here. And I did send out in my newsletter saying that the Crochet-A-Long is starting, or the introduction is starting today, but I don't think I'll be sending out every time there's a new pattern, because it's like every 2 or 3 days, bam, 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 they're just popping them out. They're really fast because they're small sections and Christmas is coming. And it's supposed to be a pattern that you can make before Christmas. Now, if you have a million other projects on the go, you will not finish it before Christmas. We can't control that. But if you wanted to finish it before Christmas, the Crochet-A-Long will be done. You'll have all the parts. And all of the parts are not only free, but they will include a YouTube walkthrough. So some of the designers have done their own, like me. I've done my own, I have my own channel. Some of the designers, whether they're new or they've been doing this for a while, for whatever reason, they don't have a channel or they didn't have the ability to make their own video, but someone has taken it upon themselves. I forget their name. I should have looked it up. Anyways, all of the patterns will be on YouTube. They will be on Ravelry, and you will be able to have a free pattern, like paper you could print or save on your cloud or whatever you do. Or you can just watch on YouTube, that sort of thing. So it's kind of a great deal. Free patterns, lots of designers, all done before Christmas. So that is step one. Now I have some samples here, but I don't know how secret they are. They did show the whole video or the whole pattern in that introduction. So if you look really closely, you can see there's sections. Hello, someone's here and talking. I know. Did you see some of the video? Why do I say videos? Pictures in the introduction thing. They had 3 or 4 samples and they all looked amazing. And that's why they do samples, right? So you can see, hey, this person changed colors a million times and it looks good. Or, hey, this person changed colors once and I like that better. And you can make your choices. So my section and Maud Ackerman's section is the videos that I'm produced. And they're waiting on YouTube, but they're not live yet. You can't watch them until it's time. And so I have a bunch of samples here because that's what you do when you make stuff. So that's fun. I'm going to stick them back in my cupboard and probably just have these random samples forever. I don't know. And they're very organized because they're cooler than me. I am less organized. I've wanted to do this hooded cowl Crochet-A-Long. I didn't even know if I was going to make it a Crochet-A-Long for a while. I started this project in August. I bought alpaca yarn and I started crocheting, and then different projects just kept interrupting. Hello, more people. Welcome, welcome. And that's pretty much how all of my designs go, is I start something and then something interrupts. Either it's urgent, like, hey, there's a mistake in your pattern, and I'm like mortified, or it's just fun, like, I'm tired of this project, I'm gonna start something new, right? So there's that. Plus, I mean, life. We had garden and children and whatever. So this project is finally finished, and I want to make it a Crochet-A-Long, which to me, which is not an official definition again, but for me, when I say I want to make a Crochet-A-Long, other than my first ones, because I was just kind of learning everything, but now when I say crocheting, Crochet-A-Long, what I mean is you will get to crochet with us free or paid. I like paid because obviously who doesn't, right? But I also like the idea of allowing more people to have the opportunity. And it hasn't harmed me. The first time I did a free Crochet-A-Long, I was scared. I was like, well, there goes all my money. I'm not making any money this month. I'm just going to give away the pattern for free. What a doofus. Who does this? Why do crochet designers do this? But I got to be on the bandwagon. And it wasn't that horrible. A lot of people want to support designers, so they bought the pattern anyways, and I was overwhelmed and amazed, and I realized that it's not going to hurt me. Hello, more people. Oh, this is so nice. I must have picked the right time. It's really just that my children are watching TV and it was quiet. They get TV time for a short amount of time. So anyway, I want to show you these ones, which I have to take my hair down. I should have brushed it first. This is reality. Look, I have hair And I have glasses. They get stuck anyways. I can't put a hat on. So here is Crochet-A-Long, Mosaic Crochet, I don't know what I'm going to call it. Hooded Trees Cowl or something like that. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh yeah. Okay, so I was going to wreck my microphone a little bit. Okay, now you have to imagine that it's cold out. I'm not in my house. I live in Canada, so it's cold like all the time. Now this cowl, you can wear it down like this, covering my microphone, or you tuck it up because your face gets cold. And if you have a winter jacket on, usually my winter jacket comes up to here, so I'll show pictures later, but it feels gappy because I don't have a jacket on. My jacket, when I zip it up, it's up to here. So this is good. It covers my face, it covers my head, and it looks cool. And maybe I'll turn sideways more. Just goes around. And this one's mosaic, which means each row was cut, and then this border covers it. So you don't have to worry about that. And my ends, when I cut them off, really it was just this part I had to cut off a little bit, and then right here I wove the tail in. And that was it. It is very heavy, this one, because I ordered alpaca yarn. I've never used alpaca yarn before, but I wanted to support someone local. Brazil, Netherlands, this is great. So here in Canada, we have some alpaca, which I don't think they're native to Canada, but their yarn is very warm. And alpaca yarn is, like, some people are allergic to wool, and alpaca yarn apparently is less likely for people to be allergic to. So I wanted to try it. Not that I'm allergic to wool, but I just wanted to try it. And it's local. She's only like an hour away. She has an alpaca farm. And they made this beautiful yarn, right? And you can't even tell in the pictures, but this green is like, it's hand dyed, of course, and it's just gorgeous. So it's quite heavy. And inside, because this is the wrong side, it's all just stripes. And it gets kind of these little ridges, which actually traps the heat in even more. So this is quite warm. This one is heavier than this one because I used acrylic yarn for this one. Acrylic is good because it's cheap, it's easily accessible. It's not my favorite for wearables because it can get a bit stuffy. Like, natural fibers will breathe better, but it's much lighter, and I don't really like heavy things on my head, which could just be my sensory issues. Probably other people don't have a problem with that. So this one's the interlocking, and the difference is, hello, the difference is not much, to be honest. The pattern, the little design that makes these trees, is technically the same, but with interlocking crochet you get these like dots. It's because it's 2 layers of mesh, right? And this is the same thing where you're supposed to tuck it up. Oh, I have too much hair in here. Blah, 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 blah. So anyways, you tuck it up. Your jacket is up here, and it keeps this covering your face. And if you don't like that, you just pull it back down, right? So it's like a hood, but it's also a cowl neck. And this one's quite floppy. It's a very large hood. And I used, oh, see, I should have taken off my glasses. I get stuck. I don't know why. Anyways, I used a 5mm hook for both of these projects. Normally, when I'm doing interlocking crochet, I do a 4.5mm hook, but I wanted it to be a bit floppy because I don't want something too stiff on my head. And I didn't notice until I was pretty much done, but this one is a bit smaller than this one. Quite a bit, actually. So that 5mm hook really did make a difference. Usually I use 4.5 and 5, and then they're about the same. This one here really pointed out to me that, I'll take my glasses off again. I can't see what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, so this part here that's big at the bottom, it's big and it goes over your head easily. This part here, if you're hot and you need to take it down, it's a bit tight actually. This one is large and it doesn't have a problem. But because this one here, I should have measured it before I sewed it. So I'll put a note in the pattern so that you guys know. Measure it before you sew it together. Because if you want to be able to take the hood down, you'll need to have more space here. Or maybe your tension is bigger than mine. I hadn't used alpaca yarn before, and I think part of it was the alpaca. And part of it might have just been me crocheting tightly. I don't know. So that's, okay. There we go. I have hair. I really don't like my hair down. It touches me. Which is, it's funny to have long hair and then not like it down. But I like having the option of putting it down, and I think I look nicer with it down. But probably 90% of my time is up because I don't really like it touching. And that's me. So there, the options there, interlocking crochet and mosaic crochet, I'm going to have them both in sections available on my website, or the full thing will be available for purchase on Ravelry and Etsy. So the file isn't quite ready. I didn't want to release it at the same time as this current crochet along that's going along in that Facebook group that I talked about at the beginning of the video. I knew mine was going to come out somewhere in that same time frame. I had hoped to be sooner, actually, but then life. So welcome to me. So it's not quite ready, but that's okay. I'm going to give you guys time to get started with this one. My section, it comes out November 20. I have it written down. I don't know. Okay, I never know. I don't know what day it is today. I don't know what day of the week it is. I half the time don't know what month it is. I'm sort of coming to terms with the fact that it's 2022, just in time for it to be 2023. That is kind of how my life goes. I hear the timer, the kids' timer is going off, telling them that they have to be done TV. And they're usually pretty good about turning it off. And I'm not a super stickler for like, it has to be this instant. Usually Alice will take her headphones off. Remy will take his off. And Melody just sits there and she's like, I need help. Every time. So yeah, so that's the crochet alongs that I have decided to tell you about. And it is nearly November. We're almost to November, which means my next square, cat square, is coming out. And a lot of people have thought of this one as a crochet along as well, because every month you get a new portion and you have to crochet it, you know, as you go. But you don't have to, but some people are. And officially it's not a crochet along because I have no idea what defines a crochet along. I don't know. But it is about to be November. So I have a cat square and, oh, I'm not showing you. You thought I was going to tease you. Okay. November's cat square is about to be published. It'll be November 1st. That cat square will be published. And I've been doing all the cat squares in interlocking. Look, I'll just turn this. There we go. Squares, a million. Some of these are gnomes and something else. But essentially what I'm trying to say is I have all these squares in interlocking. And I've had testers doing interlocking and mosaic with me. But because I came out with a bonus square in September, which was like the cat scratching down. And then I made it and I was like, well, I don't know what to do with this. And then when I came out with the November one of my testers, oh, here comes my children. Just a second. I'm just on a video, my babies. Can you just give me a minute?
Daddy.
Daddy's outside in the yard. You want to put clothes on, you can go play with him. Well, he's not playing. He's cleaning up the woods, but you can play. Go find some clothes. Alice will help you. Dad's in the bedroom? Oh, Dad's sleeping. Whoops. Ha, I never know. Okay, well, don't wake him up if he's sleeping, I guess. Can you give me a minute? I'll just finish talking to my customers and then you'll be fine. Okay. That's basically how I run my entire business. I do stuff and then children interrupt. I don't know what I was saying. Oh, the cats. So, okay, so I made that random square. Then this one, she made the square and she was like, you know, it'd be cool is if you did this. I don't want to give away the secret. So if you make the square and you make the other side of it so that we could make like a pillow or a bag and it would match. And I was like, okay, sure. So I did. And then because I want to crochet all my cats, but I have so many interlocking squares that I don't know what to do with, I thought, well, I'll just make a mosaic bag. And I made that little video, it's on YouTube somewhere already, saying this is how you would make it in the round. And that was basically for this. But I also came out with a pillow at the same time, so both. Dual duty, double duty. So I have that going on and that's interrupting me. And then I have these cowls that I was making and then I like finishing, you know, and just like projects and videos and my brain is going to explode. That's the point of my story here. My brain is going to explode and you guys will have to just keep up with me because I've stressed out my testers, I think. I keep sending more patterns saying test, 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 test. So hopefully we'll get some stuff coming out. It feels like it's been a little bit slow, but that's just because so much is going on in the background. And yeah, that's all I got for you today. Two cals. The one that's in the Facebook group, it's multi-designer. And my hood, which hasn't started yet, but I wanted to tease you with it and show you it off. So I'll get that finished, and we'll have fun together. And I also have regular patterns coming up too. So I don't know what the difference is between a crochet along and a pattern. My children are not being that quiet, which is a problem. But that is all. That's all I have for you. So I'll help them get dressed and go outside, I guess, even if Dad's not out there. I'll have to go outside. Thanks, babe. That's it. That's all I got for you. Thank you for watching and talking. And you can watch this a few times, but hopefully that information will help. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye for now.